a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
I found myself standing in a luxury flat in the middle of the sky. It had no walls, no ceiling, and a see-through floor looking straight down at city lights from the height of an airplane. Clouds drifted below my feet. The air should have been freezing cold and too thin to breathe, but I felt warm and comfortable. Black leather sofas made a U round a glass coffee table on a blood-red rug. A fire burned in a slate fireplace. Bookshelves and paintings hovered in the air, where the walls should have been. A black granite bar stood in the corner, and in the shadows behind it, a woman was making tea.
Welcome to Of the Oldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Raye, following the path of Geb.
And I'm Charlie, following the path of Bast.
And I'm Matt, following the path of Hather.
Welcome!
Whoa!
Woo!
New series!
New series. Hello, Matt, our wonderful God Complex patron, joining us today. How are you doing?
It's very exciting. I am half awake. I woke up like an hour ago.
Me too!
I was up until 3 a.m. last night, finishing God of War.
Oh, God. How was that?
Different gods.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really do wonder, like, what other things, like, media-wise, we're gonna have to cover for bonus show things. Maybe at some point we'll have to talk about that. That's the one where you kill all the gods,
that would be amazing.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Should we kill God?
Yes.
Yes, there you go.
The answer is yes.
You heard it here, folks.
Well, Matt, why don't you remind the people who the hell you are? Tell us your pronouns, why the heck you're here, and tell us how you feel about this book so far, since I convinced you to read it. To come on.
Yeah, my name's Matt. My pronouns are he, they. I am here because I pay these wonderful people to continue doing this podcast.
Free promotion.
Hell yeah!
If you too want to join Matt, it's $20 a month.
I think to this day I have always and still am be the only person at that tier.
This is why I was like, God Complex has to be the title for that. Anyway, you have a God Complex.
I do indeed have a God complex, much like our friends in this book.
Yeah. So how are you feeling about this book so far?
I'm enjoying this book, and I was concerned because my fiance had told me she read it when it first came out and she did not enjoy it.
Oh.
And so I was like, well, I hope I do, because I like Rick's writing, I like the gods, and I think part of it's I probably had a little more base knowledge of the Egyptian pantheon coming in than she would have. But no, I'm enjoying it so far. I have read only through this chapter that we are talking about, so I do not know what's coming, listeners.
Neither does Raye, because they don't remember anything.
I know some things, probably. I know some strokes.
Good shit. Also, our other question that we've been asking people lately, who's your favorite? Is it Sadie or Carter? Are you a Sadie girl? Carter girl? What's your
I'm a Sadie girl. Sadie doesn't take shit.
Sadie girly.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Especially like the past couple chapters of Sadie have just been like, what the fuck is going on? Fuck this. I just want to go home. I really resonate with that.
I don't know why I was just like, oh, are you a Sadie girly or a Carter girly? There's no gender in that.
Oh,
we're all
course
girlies.
My brain was like, oh, just like Tumblr girlies. There's no gender
That's exactly
in
it. That's the right timing for this book too.
Exactly. All right, Raye, what the heck do we read?
Okay.
What's happening?
So I visit the Star-Spangled Goddess. I'm gonna go to bat for this one. 100% accurate. That's what happens in the chapter.
I love this title because of the fact that we're in fucking DC. Like Rick
Oh!
Rick, you did it.
It's
Oh my
A+.
god. I did not
It
even
was-
get that. That's deeply funny.
Double thing there, because it's like, we're in fucking America,
Mhm.
guys. Guess what? She's Star-Spangled.
That's fucking hilarious. Okay. Yeah. No notes, I guess. Good job, Rick.
Rick, you did it.
11 out of 10.
Okay, so what happens? Sadie, she takes a nice nap or sleeps, whatever you call that. She goes out in her ball form and she is like, this ain't it. And then she makes herself hot instead of being like a bird person.
She makes herself hot?
From Sadie's perspective, I don't think 13-year-olds are hot.
This is
That was-
important clarification.
Charlie!
I'm sorry, you just said that and my brain was like, what?
No.
That was a choice.
Thank you for listening to the last episode of The Eldest Gods. No.
Get me out of here!
Cancel, Raye.
Okay.
I love you.
Okay. Moving on. I have nothing to say for myself. Okay. She sees that goth guy again. Don't know what's up with that. Nut invites Sadie to her place, and she gets her a drink. They chat about family and stuff, and, as you do in these books, there might be themes there, perhaps. I wonder. She talks about her tragic love, and then she hands them some plane tickets to Memphis, Tennessee, and she tells Sadie to get out of Dodge before they get attacked. And that's it.
Because of
Gotta
course,
get going to Memphis, y'all.
wake up, you're about to be attacked. We love when that happens, don't we?
Yeah.
Classic Rick.
Fairly short. Also, it's one conversation. Well, two conversations, technically. 3 conversations, because she wakes up and then goes... So, there are 3 conversations in this chapter, and that's it.
Listen, I still think this chapter is fun.
No, it's good,
because of the
good.
fact that Nut
I'm
is
just
here.
saying, my
And
summary,
she's iconic.
not a lot going on.
No, Nut is such a fun character because she's just like, no nonsense, a little chaotic.
Yeah, I do love her here. Like, she is just vibing.
Absolutely.
I feel like this is a great little step back and take a breath after a couple chapters of a lot of action, running, figuring stuff out. This is just a little breath of fresh air before we probably get back into a bunch of shit again.
Yeah.
So, I know we're probably about to talk about Nut in general, but before we get there,
What?
I'd just like to say, kind of a MILF.
Oh, absolutely! Bro? You know. Absolutely a MILF.
That's all. I wouldn't mind being in, like, her high-rise sky apartment that I'm imagining all fancy and drinking some of her fancy vanilla drink. I'm just saying. If she was, like, down, I'd be down.
Yeah, you wanna fuck the sky? Let's fuck the sky!
Wait, hold up. Sorry, I'm following Geb. So, actually, it's all coming to fucking Geb.
Quite literally following in Geb's footsteps.
Yeah.
And fucking this guy.
There you go. Oh
There we
my
go.
god. Wait, you host Geb, and then
Our
you
fucking
link
loophole.
them together?
Yeah.
There you go.
No, that's how you can do it. That's how
I feel like
godly
we would get in a
hosting
lot
works.
of trouble for that.
Yes, you would.
Oh, absolutely.
You would probably
There's
get
no
killed by the
question.
wind god.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also just wanted to put out there what I think Nut looks like. Have y'all seen The Dragon Prince?
Only one season, and it was
No.
forever ago.
Okay, well, they got, like, these, like, elves, they're called Star Touch elves, and
Oh.
they literally, like, her description of, like, oh, there's constellations on her body, and,
Mhm.
like, they're, like, purplish, bluish, and I'm like, wow, that's just Nut, actually. I figured out how to picture her.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. I gave you Nut. Now, let's talk about her. In case you missed it,
But
so Nut, once again, we're talking about her in November, at least while recording. Even though it's No Nut November? What's up with that? I don't know.
God damn it. Every time.
Every time, I will bring it up, okay? Okay? So, let's see, her name means sky.
Wow.
Oh, well.
Who would have thought?
Straight up, it just means sky. We do have some alternate versions, though. We have Nanut, Nanette, nut or not. But usually it's just nut,
Hmm.
which obviously is the best version.
I like Nanut because it sounds like no nut since it's November.
And then November can be her month again.
There you go. It all works out.
Alright, so she is the goddess of the sky, the stars, the cosmos, mothers, astronomy, and the universe? Wonderful. She's everything, obviously.
Strong, independent woman.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We love it. And she's quite literally described as a star-covered woman, usually nude, arching over the earth.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which, I think it's actually on the Geb page that you can see how she specifically looks. Let me...
Well, and that matches way, way back Amos's library at the mansion in Brooklyn, right? Because that's on the ceiling. That's the painting on the ceiling.
Is.
Yeah.
Yeah, her as the sky and him as the ground.
Yeah. If you look on the Geb page, they actually have like a picture of her topping him.
Yeah, I just went over there. It's
that
sure
is...
something. Oh my god.
Yeah, she's a woman arching over the earth because he's, the bottom.
She's asserting dominance.
Why
are her arms so fucking long?
I love that this picture, the section on the Wikipedia article for Geb, this picture, it is just goose.
Yeah, we'll talk about that eventually. But but goose.
What a picture.
Wow.
Entitled Goose God. Geb.
I like how his little snake head is like demurely looking away from the titties.
He's very respectful, very demure.
He's a bottom, clearly.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, quite literally. That is
bottom.
Their constant position.
The ultimate bottom.
We love a woman who tops for her man.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That man is getting pegged. So.
Men getting pegged.
Woo!
That's clearly how they made all their babies, actually.
Yeah.
Alright, so she is depicted wearing a water pot on her head, also. That's, like, in her little symbol, where she's got, like, basic Egyptian goddess thing. She's got the Ankh, no scepter, but she's got a water pot.
Maybe that's where rain comes from. Maybe she just, like, kind of tips over a little bit.
But, okay, my brain is thinking of a thing. I'm forgetting so many words, and that's not being helpful. What's the astrology thing? It's the water jug.
Oh,
it's
Aquarius.
The Aquarius.
Yeah, but it's an air symbol, right?
Yeah.
So that
Oh,
it's making me think of this,
I see
right?
what you're saying. Yeah.
She's like a goddess of like the sky and the air and all of that.
Yeah.
But she's got a water jug for some reason. So Aquarius? Is this?
It's the OG Aquarius.
You're like you're that meme. I've connected the dots, except for I do believe that you connected them. Like that, I'm like, you're onto something there.
I did something. Thank you. Thank me for my service. Okay, so her symbols are obviously the sky, the stars, and cows. Sometimes she's a cow. We love women who are cows. That just...
It's a thing, yeah.
It's a thing. Hathor's a cow. Isis...
You know what?
Sometimes...
Cows are great moms. And so maybe that's the whole thing.
I mean, Hera herself is usually like has stuff going on with cows.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is true.
Like,
Queen of the Gods has cows, so yeah.
Cows are just motherly, apparently.
No, they are for real in real life. Cows, they love their babies. I don't know if you knew this about them.
I didn't. I just thought it was something to do with like milk and
I mean, maybe. Like
that nurturing thing.
Like, and also they have big, beautiful eyes. I mean, I love cows, so...
We love cows on this podcast.
Pro Cow Podcast. Confirmed.
Yes. Pro Cow Podcast. Thank you. New merch coming out.
New merch coming soon.
Sometimes I'm just like, it's because cows are so culturally relevant, like everybody has like cows as livestock. But if that was true, then you would see more goats in like symbolism for stuff, because goats are like the number one like animal raised for meat in livestock, like in the planet. So it's not just that. Cows are like special.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no goats in Egyptian as far as I can tell. They're in Greek, obviously. They're in Norse.
Yeah, they're in Norse.
All I mean, can recall.
There's goats in the Bible, so
there's goats in the Bible. There you go.
With your Christian mythology.
Oh, don't call it the
That was what I
mythology,
was
the
getting
Christians
at, but I
hate you.
didn't want to say it because I didn't want to get yelled at.
I'll say it. I can get yelled at. I'm only here once a book. I'll take it.
All right, Nut. Her parents are Shu, not like you wear shoes, like Shu, SHU, and Tefnut. They're both air people, which is pretty cool. And her sibling / husband is Geb. They're they're in one of those relationships. It's fine. And
when it's the beginning of the planet,
don't think too much.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, and her children are exactly who you would expect. Her Greek equivalent is, of course, Uranus, the sky dude, who's also separated from his wife, the Earth. So there you go. Literally exactly the same, except they gender swap them. So.
So Nut and Shu are not funny to me as an adult, but I do think that when you're 13 years old, people being named Nut and Shu is in fact very funny.
I still find it funny. I think I'm just a child, though.
See, I'm like, that's normal. I don't care anymore. But I do think that Rick is right to point it out. Like, because a 13-year-old is gonna be like, ha, Shu, that's silly.
I always remember, when I hear Shu as like a name, I always think of an early South Park episode where they made fun of Pokemon, and one of their fake Pokemon was called Shu, and it was just a loafer.
I'm thinking more of the guy from Avatar who wears the different hats.
Yes, my brother Shu. My brother Shu.
Yeah. I run the dock, so my name is Doc. I run the store, so my name is Shu.
Yeah. There's also the city of Omashu, where Oma and Shu were
love. I was gonna say, that just feels
That's
like a
what
name.
I think about.
Nut does not feel like a name to me.
I'm fine with it.
That's different to me. Also,
that's because it's a sex joke to you. To children, it's not a sex joke generally.
A sex joke, so it's still funny. I want to know. I want to know all the different sex jokes you can make with her name, and if she's really okay with them.
I don't think I want to hear all of them. People are creative and disgusting.
This is true. Okay, well, let's talk about her. And she's the goddess of the sky and the stars and all that shit. Okay. The weird headdress that she has might symbolize the uterus. Wonderful. More sex jokes. Okay, originally the goddess of the nighttime sky, but then becomes the goddess of all of it. She's also one of the oldest deities. I guess sometimes she's a tree, specifically a sycamore tree, or a sow. There you go. She's sometimes a pig.
Okay.
Suckling many
Other
piglets,
livestock.
Who are the stars, I guess.
Other livestock are available.
Yeah. Just no one uses goats, okay? It's just cows. Maybe it's possible that the Milky Way is a depiction of Nut.
I like that a lot, actually. That makes a lot of sense to me. That's just like that's why she looks so long in that picture.
Yeah, she has to. I mean, there's literally another picture here where she also looks very tall. I have questions about what is going on with the circles, but there's just a circle on her chest and then a circle on her.
You can say pussy. Yeah,
I know, but sometimes it's funnier. Sometimes it's funnier to leave it up to the imagination.
Yeah, I don't know if it says anything anywhere. I was wondering if that was like the moon or something, but
I don't know.
I don't know why there's two of them then.
This is also the inside of a coffin? Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was the weird part.
I didn't know they decorated the inside of the coffins.
That's not for you. That's for him. In there.
That's true. That is in fact for him. He gets to nut for the rest of it forever. So Alright, one of her other sacred symbols is the ladder used by Osiris to enter her sky, apparently. It's called Maquette, and it's placed in tombs. It protects the dead people.
That's nice.
Her and her brother Geb are considered enigmas? What?
Why?
What's Enigma mean in this?
Because they gender swapped. Because it's specifically like a sky mother and earth father. Because like, oh no, like you're supposed to have a mother nature. How can you be a mother nature if it's a dude or whatever? Bro? Okay.
I don't know.
I like this depiction.
Me too.
It makes me happier than some of the stuff we learned about Isis and her confusing feminism. She gets to top. That's all that matters. The myth of Nut and Ra, specifically. Oh, this is where she couldn't give birth. Okay. So, yes, remember when years were only 360 days long? Well,
I do remember.
Yeah. Matt's super old, didn't you
I was
know?
there.
He was in the room when it happened. Okay, well, Nut wanted to have children, and then Ra was like, no, you cannot give birth to any child any day of the year. For some reason. This does not give any reason for why. Just that Nut can't do that. So she's like, Thoth, can you help me out with this? So this is specifically saying that Thoth gambled with Khonshu. Hey, do you know that name?
Khonshu drop.
Right? Do you know that name?
I do now.
For some reason.
That I've watched 2 episodes of Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's the god of the moon. And I just think that's interesting because like sometimes Thoth is also a moon god. But anyway, so Thoth got some more moonlight. Got some more moonlight.
Oh, friends.
So that Nut could have children on these 5 extra days. Oh, now it's 365 days, but also a quarter. What about like the optional 6th child that's only born once every 4 years? That's what I would create. I would create fanfic about this, just saying.
Make it an OC. That kind of slaps, actually. Love that.
Egyptian god OC.
Who only exists on a leap year.
Yeah, exactly.
I was due on the 29th of February, but I was early.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was growing up and I learned that, like, leap years were a thing, I had, like, such an irrational fear of specifically having a child born on leap day.
You know that nothing bad actually happens, right?
They just get older really, really slowly.
I think it's because I watched this like one movie. Oh god, it was like some 80s movie or something where this guy learned that his actual birthday was like leap day, and it's like, oh, I turned 21, so my contract is up, and then his contract was suddenly not up because technically he was only this many years old. So
that's dumb.
I got an irrational fear from this.
I see. How could they do him like that? I would just like to say how frustrating I think it is that there aren't 360 days. Like, it's so close is the thing that's frustrating about it. It would be so convenient if the math just worked out the way that it should. Like, perfectly. If the rotational speed was, like, actually perfect for the...
See, but that's something so simple, just to make us realize that, like, no, things aren't perfect. Okay? We're allowed to not be perfect. Even the Earth itself made a mistake by being at this weird degree or whatever.
No, but the thing is that it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it probably does, but it doesn't make any sense to me that it is so close.
We're not math people, so...
Almost that it does rotate 360 times as it goes 360 degrees around the sun. Like, it would be so beautiful. It's so close. I don't know why it's so close.
Because God likes fucking with you, specifically.
No! How dare he?
It was specifically to spite you. Alright, so Ned had all 5 of her kids, and we already heard the other part. She's separated from her husband forever for this. But she doesn't regret her decision. There's a citation needed on that sentence. But still...
What citation is mother does not regret giving birth to her children. Citation needed. Like, what the fuck?
I love it.
Wikipedia.
Alright, right, so some of her titles are Coverer of the Sky. Yeah, she doms you. That she does. She Who Protects. Apparently she protects Ra. She envelops and protects him.
Overpower that fucker.
There's a picture here that's just Nut swallows
Nut
the
swallows
sun.
the sun.
Yeah, Nut vores Ra.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Travels through her body at night to be reborn at dawn.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So she
probably
shits him
what
out in the morning.
is. That's what the coffin thing is. The circles. That's probably the sun. I get it now. I get it.
Because I was like, maybe it's the sun and the moon, but it didn't. I was like, the sun wouldn't be there, except it would.
Because she's the sky. So there you go. It
Because
would.
it's up in there.
Yeah, it is up in there. So she is the mistress of all, she who bore the gods, because she had a bunch of kids who were very important. They're pretty cool.
Originally said to be lying on top of Geb. Damn right.
Continually having intercourse. I love that. They just fucked a lot, okay?
She is writing, okay? And that is so valid of her.
And then she's also she who holds 1,000 souls because of her role of rebirthing Ra. And I guess Osiris because he got resurrected and shit. Yeah. Okay, here's her as a cow. Cool. She's just a cow. That's pretty cool.
That's a huge cow.
It is. There's a lot of tiny people.
Assuming those
her.
people are normal sized. That's a big ass cow.
It's symbolic, guys. We're all under the night sky. The cow is the sky.
Yeah, the cow is the sky, in fact. Alright, she's the goddess of the sky, all the heavenly bodies, even the sun and the moon, even though, they all have to go inside of her again. Once again, she swallows them all, she eats everything. So much vor. God damn.
And be reborn at dawn. So she does not shit them out.
She is the barrier separating the forces of chaos from the ordered cosmos of the world. Very interesting. Yes, we already know how she's pictured with the really long arms and legs. Her fingers and toes were believed to touch the 4 cardinal points.
Oh, yeah.
Oh?
Okay, that makes sense.
Because back when they thought there was a flat
very
Earth.
image too. She's like spreading.
Yeah. It's a very dominant pose.
I'm just trying to picture this, like, nut touching the 4 cardinal points. Like, how do you get your arms and legs to go in this plus?
Oh my god, it's what's the game where you gotta touch
Twister.
It's Twister. She's playing Twister.
I'm just trying to picture how do you
playing Twister.
How do you make your arms and legs go in a plus? Like, how do you get your one leg over your head?
Maybe the Earth is a rectangle.
The other way.
Like a twister mat. And
Or she's doing the X.
Yeah, she's
doing like the X.
Yeah, she's doing an X and her head is just like to the side or something.
This is very
like
important.
The northeast or west or something.
It's very important to understand how this works.
Or maybe her head is south. Who knows? Like, who's to say? The fact that there's another thing where it's like, oh, my mother nut, stretch yourself over me. This is weird. I don't like it.
Hot.
But it's something about Osiris, him saying this to her. That's your mom. Okay. Oh, here it is. She's often placed in the sarcophagus, protecting the deceased. Very cool, very cool. The vaults of tombs were painted dark blue to represent Nut.
Aw.
And I guess she's referenced in the Book of the Dead.
It makes a lot of sense knowing that she is like a protector. Like, you want to be under her and inside her. Wow, there's a lot of sex going on here.
That's why they had to name her Nut. They were like, there's so much sex going on here. We can't not do it. It's just a joke. And lastly, apparently, there's a Book of Nut, which
like
in
the Book
ancient
of
times
Mormon?
was called... Yes. We're going to redo the Book of Mormon, but it's called the Book of Nut.
Hello.
Let me tell you about this goddess who fucks. Guys.
Would you like to change religions? I have a free book.
About nutting.
About nut.
This book was originally called The Fundamentals of the Course of the Stars.
More like the intercourse of the stars.
Oh!
Hey! And with that, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done talking about her. Because now we have to talk about this lady talking to a small child. And the fact that she's very much clothed. I'm very glad for that.
Well, I mean, she's wearing, like, a halter top. No, not a...
She's
what do you
wearing
call-
a bikini top
A
for
bikini
some
top.
reason.
There has to be a different word for that. An actual
That's
word.
not Egyptian, dude.
Yeah.
They didn't have bikinis. Okay, so yeah, Sadie goes on a bar trip. Very fun. And then she's like, wow, I look really ugly right now. Like, I'm looking down at myself. Boy, howdy. It's disgusting. You're 12. Like, this is normal behavior for a 12-year-old, Sadie. You
And
just
of
don't
course,
like how you look.
has to point out she's got a pimple that she hates because, of course, teenager.
I mean, mood,
You know
honestly.
what? I'm mad. Because everybody told me, that you would simply stop having acne when you became an adult.
The biggest fucking lie
That is
ever.
not my fucking experience. Yeah.
You fucking liars. How dare you tell children about these things? How dare the children think that they're gonna not have acne? You're gonna have acne, kids. Sorry. Forever.
I'm mad.
Maybe it won't be as bad, but still, it's still gonna happen.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like mine is worse now than it was 10 years ago.
Could be
My
the stress.
mom had like weird hormones as a teen, I think. And so she never had acne until the first time she got pregnant. And then she had like acne for the rest of her life.
Bro.
That's wild.
That sucks.
Yeah, real rough.
I mean, you know, pregnancy does ruin your body. Anyway, enough of me and my irrational fears of pregnancy. Okay, so yes, she's making fun of her sleeping body, but also she's like, I'm a ba, I don't want to be a Sadie-headed chicken. No, Carter can do that, but I have standards.
I
Okay.
have standards.
Oh, Sadie.
Her and her little British accent, she can't do it, but she fixes herself. She's fine. Now she's a ghost, and she's like, okay, wind, take me wherever I'm supposed to go, or whatever, I guess. And then we see Nico, but it's not Nico, but it is. I don't
Egyptian
know.
Nico.
It's Egyptian Nico. I've been calling him Nico for several chapters because, listen, the exact description.
It's literally, it's like he just like copy pasted from Titan's Curse description of small goth boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, except he's 16, I think. Described
This
as
is
16.
true.
So it's older Nico. Nico from the future is now Egyptian, apparently, instead of Italian.
Close enough. Right?
I don't
know.
I still want to know why he's white, but whatever.
Because America.
That's true. It's absolutely true. Have we all seen the Pharaoh where he's just a white dude?
Yep.
Yes, I've seen White Pharaoh. And I have also seen the after White Pharaoh became a meme, Genshin Impact released like an African-based country, like an Egyptian one, I think, and they put the characters who were supposed to be from there next to White Pharaoh, and all of them were whiter. So
Oh no.
Well, it's like you can have white people from Africa if they're from like South Africa.
like,
But if they're
there
from
are
the
white
desert-
people who live in Africa. There are not native Africans who are white. Like,
Yes.
yeah. And I would
Yeah.
assume that a god who is from Egypt would, but yeah.
I will say I was recently watching. I recently watched a lot of Scooby-Doo because it was October. But one of my favorite movies is like Where's My Mummy? And there's just a lot of white people in Egyptian stuff in that movie. They even flashback to like ancient times, and I'm just like, okay, there's a lot of disputed stuff about what Cleopatra herself looked like. But all of the other Egyptians in this scene are also white, so I can't even say anything about that.
Like, legitimately, like, American media, they basically pretend that Egypt is not in Africa. They're like, this is its own thing. It's Egypt. It's like a mystical other place. And I'm like, no, it's in Africa, bitches.
It's because it's Western civilization.
Yeah, it's because the Greeks took it, like, at some points.
Yep.
So, like,
Oh my god.
it basically is Europe because the Greeks had it. So, you know, anything that Alexander the Great had, it counts as white culture, right? Obviously.
And this has been Three White People Talk About Race.
Yeah.
Your favorite podcast? How many times are we gonna get canceled today? Okay. So, this boy, what does he do? He's just like, hey, you person, once again, why are you here? The lady wants to talk to you. Goodbye. That's their whole conversation.
Yeah. So he helps. It's fine. It's less than a page. Like, don't worry about it.
But he does step out of the shadows, and he talks about how spirit travel and death are similar. Again, it's Nico.
Very Nico.
Yeah. I can't even dispute it at this point.
You literally can't. It's just him. Okay, so now we're in the sky. Like, literally, it's just, we're in the sky, but there's apparently a floor. This is very unsettling. I'm scared.
I love this shit. It's so good. Like,
you're not afraid of heights, clearly.
No, I am, but, like, the visual, I think, is just incredible. Like, the idea that Sadie describes it first as a luxury flat. And so, like, that, like, brings up, like, this very specific, like, image, except for the fact that there aren't walls or a floor. It's just this furnished apartment that, like, is just existing, like, in nothing. I don't know. It's
clouds,
just beautiful to me.
Maybe?
Yeah, this is something I'm super excited to see when they finally put Kane Chronicles on screen. Like this, I cannot wait to see how they do this. Because
Disney
it'll be
Plus.
pretty to look at when I'm not the one having to stare down from airplane height.
Yeah. It'd be something very cool. I just don't want to go there. As much as I want to see Nut, I am scared of her apartment, not gonna lie. But hey, she's here, and she's making tea, I guess.
Because
and
British.
She looks really hot.
Sadie wishes it was tea.
She thinks it's tea for 5 seconds. It's actually, salab.
Salab.
Yeah.
Which sounds delicious.
Hot vanilla.
It does. It sounds so good.
With a little cinnamon.
Yeah. Listen, Nut, once again, milf, did you not know? She's got constellations on her skin, and she's got long, beautiful hair.
I am afraid of heights. I would go to this apartment to be pegged by Nut. Like, I would get over it for her.
I'm so glad. Just close your eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Or just look up. Since she will always be above you, just look up at her. You're good to go.
There you go. There you go. I mean, obviously, she's gonna be above you. All right, so we're drinking our hot vanilla. We're sitting on the couch and we're hanging out. And Sadie,
and again, she's got dark blue skin, and her skin is like a tapestry of the night sky, like living stars.
Yeah.
Which, love that shit. Very cool.
It's a really good, like, Rick did a really good job writing it, like, describing it. Like, I was reading it, I was like, I picture exactly what he wants us to think and what the description of Nut is. Like, he did a great job of painting that to readers.
The galaxy leggings, but it's like her whole body.
Thanks for dumbing that down for us.
Sorry. That's all I could think about. Anyway, Nut is a real Tumblr girly.
This is before
obviously.
galaxy leggings were popular, though. Well, that's probably not true, but
yeah, this is probably exactly the right time.
This is peak time. Nut was in her prime, obviously. So, Nut's like, hey, do you want to know why you're here? And Sadie's like, yeah, but also, who's your doorman? Like, tell me about weird Nico guy.
I want to flirt with this 16-year-old, and I'm like, girl, no, you're 12.
And Nut's like, no, I'm not gonna tell you. She also can't have the House of Life trying to find her. She's not in a host. Very important information. This is the goddess who does not need a human host. Therefore, it also is fine to peg her. Or get pegged by her.
Oh,
because,
yes, no moral implications there of consent with the body sharing situation.
The amount of times that we're talking about sex here right now.
It just comes with the territory of this goddess. It's just how
even
it works.
More than when we did with Bast. But we had to think of the moral implications of that, and sadly we cannot fuck Bast, and it makes me very upset.
We can fuck Nut.
This is true.
Sorry, nut. Okay, fine.
Got him!
You can nut her.
Okay. Also, so she says it's a manifestation, but I kind of also wonder if it's only because Sadie is a Ba right now that they're able to interact like this directly.
Possibly.
but that she doesn't say anything about that. But that would also make sense to me if that were the case.
Yeah, I agree. And then Nut's like, I'm used to being freeform, and suddenly the freeform logo goes across the screen.
God.
But actually what happens is everything flickers and Sadie's like, I'm gonna fall out of the sky. Don't do that. Please.
Yeah, I would be a little upset about that also.
It's just like it's like a little subtle, sort of like, remember who's in charge here.
Yeah. But Nut apparently was never imprisoned by the house in the Duat because no one could find her. No one could get to her. She's like, she's very sneaky.
Yeah.
She's very slippery.
How are you supposed to imprison
How do you trap the sky?
Yeah. You don't top Nut. Nut tops you.
Exactly.
Untoppable.
Exactly. She can't be imprisoned. There you go.
Yeah.
Can't be tamed. Yeah, so all of her brethren are free now. I don't think we knew that all of them were free, but like, cool. All the gods are there. They're all around.
Yeah, that's a lot of gods.
That is. And Nut's telling us that, once again, the gods in the house should not fight. That's just gonna make things worse. That's chaos. And literally, we're trying to uphold Ma'at here. Let's not do that.
She's for real comes across as the most sensible person in this entire series so far.
Thank you, Nut, for actually being like smart.
A responsible adult in the room.
Yeah, she's like, the gods and the magicians should not be fighting. Also, I know that Set is causing problems, but like, you know, he's doing his own thing. Like,
She's
that's
like,
his job.
He's part of the family. He's my son. So try not to destroy him, actually. He used to be cool. He was the best lieutenant of Raw, okay?
He's like, he has his moments, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just supposed to be my little rebellious son, okay? Leave him be. Yeah,
I know. Sorry that my brain is so Batman all the time, but I'm like, it's Jason Todd.
It is Jason Todd! Fuck you.
You know, you're like, I know that he murdered all those people, but also he's my little guy.
He's just a little guy.
He has to come to family dinners.
Someone draw Set as Red Hood right now. It works. It totally works. The red, the chaos.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, so once again, we're skirting around the whole like Western civilization thing. It's not present in this series.
Okay.
Instead, yeah.
Yeah, I have like serious thoughts about this because the thing about the Western civilization thing is that it has always been like racist and nationalist and like not good. But stripping it down to its base idea here, actually, it turns out that I like it. When you don't have like that layer of nationalism on top. I like what Rick did with that in the original series. You know, that's where we got like fun things like Mount Olympus being on the Empire State Building. It doesn't make sense to do that like if you don't have that layer on it, but I'm glad that we got rid of it here. And what kind of comes out of this is that the teachings of a culture and the remnants of a culture like live on in their ideas and in the parts of them that do live on. Like the spirit of ancient Egypt lives on in the Washington Monument because of the way that Egypt has influenced this new culture. In the same way that Greece lives on in the White House in the way that it was designed in the architecture. Like these cultures have things that they teach us, and even if we don't recognize the ways that they've influenced us, they still have influenced us like very drastically in like the ways that they helped advance human civilization and human learning and human knowledge. Yeah.
It's just don't put like the idea of the West onto it. That
like,
sucks. We're getting at
but
here.
Like
Is,
the
like,
fact that the
cultures are important.
Mm-hmm. And like using that not as a way to like prop up the new cultures, but as a way to say that these ancient cultures are what we are built on is like really cool, actually.
And they're always influencing us.
Yeah.
Like they're always here because not like the idea of Egypt is eternal.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's the idea is there. We are built on it, but it's not the same as it was thousands of years ago. I think that's the key thing, and that's the takeaway that it should be, is that we can continue to try and be better.
That too, yeah.
And like the whole idea is the triumph of civilization, I guess you could say. Not my favorite line, but like more the forces of Ma'at, the force of order overcoming the forces of chaos. Like order over chaos is like the whole idea of Egypt. It's all very cyclical. It's all very, fight the good fight.
I love that as like in the basis, as a basis for the series, for the books. I think that's very cool.
Yeah, and they've hinted at it, or in earlier chapters as well, is that like that's not good or evil. It's just order and chaos. Both exist. Both are a natural part of the world, and you just have to reconcile. Like, there's no one that's bad or not, or good. They just both exist.
Yeah. And then we briefly talk about the giant serpent, Apophis, the embodiment of chaos. Probably not going to be important later, but yeah, he's actually evil, I guess.
Hinted at quite strongly.
Yeah, and even Set fought against him. So, like, how bad can Set be if he even fought against, like, the evilest of evil, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like my big thought prediction for, like, Set is very clearly being set up to be the antagonist for this book, but I think in the rest of the trilogy, he's not part of like the big bad that we're going to fight at the end of the trilogy. I think he's going to be, I don't know if I'd necessarily predict that he's going to be on the side of like Carter and Sadie, but he's going to at least not be working against their aims.
Does say that defeating him might not look like what you think it's going to look like. So
foreshadowing.
An interesting prediction, and I don't actually remember mostly, so
that line is what solidified. I was thinking about it and was like, am I going to bring it up or not? And that line solidified. I was like, okay, I feel pretty confident about it now.
Yeah, and then she's talking about how she's been separated from her husband because she disobeyed Ra, and her own dad has to separate her and her husband / brother. Dad, how dare you? I just want to be with my boyfriend.
Dad, I just want to hang out with my boyfriend. Come on, please. Just let me go. Just let me go see him.
But Daddy, I love him. Little Mermaid style.
Yeah.
Except the guy she's talking about is actually her brother.
I can no longer just think of Little Mermaid when I hear that, because now there's a Taylor Swift song, and if you didn't know, Abby's a total Swiftie, so like she put that on our shared playlist. We have a playlist that's about us.
Oh my god. Gay.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, so what happens if Nut tries to go and see her hubby? Literally like bad shit. There's lightning strikes, there's wind, there's a lot of bad shit. She can't do it.
The wind physically pushes her back up if she tries to go down there.
I did like the imagery, like it's lightning striking the earth, the sky trying to touch the ground. Like I liked that imagery. It's like it's a like instantaneous moment that immediately gets repelled.
Yeah.
You got me a little with that, like the poetry. That's so sad.
Yeah, she can't go and see him. So sad. Okay, so how are we gonna defeat Set? And you know what? We don't even mention the fact that we have the Book of Thoth, but like Nut is like, you should go and see Thoth.
Makes sense.
I mean, that's her homeboy. That's who helped her, have her kids. So
but also they have a book that probably he can read.
It's one of those things. Not just that seek out Thoth, and it's like, duh. Why did we not think of that earlier?
Yeah, literally.
Well, now we know where he lives, though. He
lives in Memphis. Memphis, Egypt? No, Tennessee.
Props to Sadie for thinking of Memphis, Egypt first.
I mean, like, obviously they're Egyptian gods.
Memphis.
Where are they gonna be? But no, like, this is how you Americanize it. You're just like, oh, they have the same name, so they confused it.
No, yeah, he just wants to live there now.
I like that. I like that so much better.
He likes
I think he just fucking likes jazz. Okay.
Yeah.
You like jazz?
He likes the rock and roll jazz. You like jazz?
I love that he probably thinks it's Egypt and how she keeps describing him as a bird. He has a beak and everything. Once again, furry
cute.
gods. Except I guess he's a feathery. So yeah, so she can literally guarantee them safe travel as far as Memphis with
Through the
plane
skies.
tickets. I'm
the
sorry.
opposite of Percy Jackson.
Literally.
And it's so refreshing because Rick was writing this at the same time he wrote Lost Heroes, so it's just like he was just so excited. It's like finally my characters can fly.
I can put them in a plane. Free tickets from a goddess. Fucking wild.
The goddess of the sky has power over airplanes.
And she likes us.
That's the joke for me.
It's okay.
And she likes us, yeah.
And
for once in our goddamn lives, it's because women are better than shitty Zeus, actually.
Yeah, can I? If anyone's gonna fight Zeus, can it be Nut? Can I?
Put that on
I don't
Netflix.
think the world would survive that, but I mean, it might be worth it.
It'd be worth it for me. Like, you know what? Plot twist. We pretend that Nut is like some simple mortal that he needs to go and do his like weird thing with, and then she fucking doms him, and then he's like,
God damn it.
And then he's like, oh, okay. And then he's a sub forever. I killed Raye.
You did. I'm
welcome.
dead now.
I mean, how else are you gonna kill Zeus? How else are you gonna maybe not kill Zeus, but like defeat Zeus? You peg him.
You destroy his fragile masculinity.
Yeah, because even when he has boyfriends, obviously he's the one who's doing that. Obviously he's the one on top.
Of course.
You know that the Greeks were weird about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, they were. They were weird about a lot of shit.
Yeah. I mean,
Right,
so is every society, though, so...
Back to Nut and her frequent flyer miles.
It's like the 5th frequent flyer miles joke in this book, and we're in chapter 20. I'm like, come on, Rick, get another joke.
Oh my god, wait. I have another joke. If you fuck Nut up there, are you in the Mile High Club? Anyway.
Yes. Definitely.
Thank you. Okay, so they have to get the fuck out. As we always do at the end of a chapter.
Yes, of course.
Because Set's minion is closing in on them, and
what minion are we talking about? I do
love Nut says like you've got minutes, and then Sadie's like, "Well, send me back then." And she's like, "Hold on, I've got a couple more things to say to you."
I have to tell you about my other child. Everyone forgets her name, but where is my last child? Huh? Come on, think about it.
Wait,
and
we have to find Nephthys. We're going to Memphis. They almost rhyme. It's all coming together, baby.
And then also, please play Postman and give my husband a nice letter for me.
Oh, yeah! That's so good.
He definitely says Geb plus Nut equals true love, or Mrs. Geb.
Well, no. And Sadie's like, least I could do. And I'm like, yeah, very, very good.
Cute. Good shit. And then lastly, Isis, restrain yourself.
That was good. I enjoyed that one. It's just like, by the way, I've been talking to Sadie this whole time, but Isis, chill.
So we're awake for 5 seconds, and Sadie's like, "Oh, where's the minion? Oh, it's right here." Yikes.
Best is very excited that they serve salmon on first class. That's worth mentioning.
It is. Absolutely. Anything talking about my girl, okay? Listen. Bast is the one that I want a relationship with. Nut is the one I want to fuck.
You see, I'm the opposite. I want a MILF to take care of me.
Bast is also a MILF, okay? She protects her kittens.
But she has more ant vibes to me. Like wine ant. Like, she seems like a fun time, definitely. Let's move on.
Okay, fine. I guess we have to stop talking about this. Well, that's the chapter. Matt, do you want the people to find you on the internet? Where can they do so?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, and I just joined Blue Sky as well, at Shaman Nomo. So if you want to find me, come do that. And then the Discord, of course.
Yeah, you can always find Matt there. He's pretty cool. He's a Viking. We love it.
Hell yeah.
And now any media that we have to recommend to our listeners today? I have to think of a media. We recorded like 2 days ago, so I have to think of another thing.
I was going to recommend go watch Moon Knight. I know you guys are covering it on the Patreon for the bonus episode, so I won't talk more about it. But Moon Knight, Egyptian fun. It's on Disney Plus. I really enjoyed it. I've been meaning to rewatch it. So y'all covering it on the Patreon bonus episodes is like giving me the excuses. Oh, I can watch that again now.
Nice. The acting in that show is really just fantastic. Like
Oscar Isaac is outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. It occurred to me kind of recently that people don't know the song Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots. I feel like it should be a popular meme song, and it's not. It's by the Flaming Lips. It was on Rock Band 3.
What is happening?
Yeah. I don't know. It was a meme song in my household, and the fact that other people don't know about Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots bothers me sometimes, so I guess that's my plug. Her name is Yoshimi. She's a black belt in karate. She's working for the city. She has to discipline her body because it's really demanding to defeat those evil machines. You know, you see the name of the song and you're like, what could that song possibly be like? And it is exactly what you like would imagine, except that it's not. Yeah,
that does sound like a meme song.
Yoshimi is there and she battles the pink robots to save the city. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah,
that's all. Did you find anything, Charlie?
You know what? I'm just gonna plug playing Cards Against Humanity with your friends, because I did that last night. It's been so long since I played Cards Against Humanity because like my college friends got so sick of it. And also I don't see a lot of people in person anymore, so like I don't get to flex with my cards. Technically when I first started playing, we played on the internet. I did not know physical cards existed. I just knew it existed on the Cards Against Humanity like website that existed.
Oh my god.
It used to be, that was like a New Year's tradition for a couple years with me and my high school friends.
Oh, that's cute. I used to play a lot of apples to apples with my like family, my like actual family. So the transition to Cards Against Humanity is pretty easy because it's the same game, except then you can't bring Cards Against Humanity back to your family.
I've played Cards Against Humanity with my mom once. That was an experience.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember it. But I played with her and like one of her friends or something, I think. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't think I was funny.
You just made it occur to me that I could be recommending board games this whole time. I could have been doing that.
You're welcome. It's another media. There you go. Also, guess who won?
Was it you?
No, it was Abby.
Oh.
That's what I was gonna guess.
Abby! Get it!
Abby likes games, so we have a lot of games. I had one thing to contribute. And also Uno.
I mean, classic.
The two staple games.
Someday, what's important?
Someday we gotta get together. I have to play board games with Abby now.
Hey, anytime you want, come to the apartment. We have a couch.
Hell yeah!
And also a very fluffy cat who's been sleeping in the corner this entire time.
Oh man, if I could pet Orzo, I'd die. Okay, this is derailing. Would you release us from this mortal coil, please?
Fine, I guess you need to get the fuck out of my little sky apartment. Yeah, there's a monster that's gonna come get you.
The minions the minions here.
An undescribed minion
the little yellow
that is
ones.
Here.
Oh my god.
It's actually just the minions. It's Gru's little minions.
Truly horrifying.
Draw set as Gru now. I dare you.
Banana.
You thought he was Jason Todd. He's actually Gru. We've killed Raye once again. I'm so
done. There's no more podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
An enormous thank you to Matt for joining us on this episode. Always great to have you, bruh. If you would like to join Matt and all of our other wonderful Patreons, you can join us of the Eldest Gods on Patreon, and at our God Complex tier, you could be on an episode. You can follow this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send us a message through the Duat to oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about the Riordanverse or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology, no promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. If you want to hear more from me, Raye, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast's Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. You can also hear my voice on 2 other podcasts. I co-host another podcast on the network with the meme maker Robert called The Bits, where we talk about the Cartoon Network show Steven Universe. I also co-host a non-network podcast with my buddy Ethan called Mysteries in the Machine, where we talk about all things Scooby-Doo. Our music was created and produced by Isabel Strauss-Riggs. You can find Isabel at Kane I, that's I is in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel, Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing The Kane Chronicles. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
Coffee, tea, honor, cabbage. Long ago, the 4 elements lived in harmony. Then, shit went totally cray when the Avatar attacked. Only the Cabbage Man, merchant of fine cruciferous vegetables, could stand against his trolling. But when the world needed some dank veg, he vanished. 10 years have passed, and my partner and I have started a new podcast.
My cabbages! An Avatar podcast.
A weekly show about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Whether it's Sokka's new line of cologne.
Hey, look at you. Sitting there on a seal. Well, now look back at me. I'm on an even bigger seal. Now look away.
D&D related antics.
You have to make an acrobatics check for that, and Aang just unzips his pants and whips out his D20s. He's just like, I got this.
Or randomly breaking into song.
Go bending waterfall.
We'll stumble our way through the greatest show ever made, one episode at a time.
You can reach us at CabbageCast, which is our Twitter, or
subscribe wherever you catch pod.
Rotten cabbages? What kind of slum do you think this is?
Oh no, for some reason I cannot hear you.
Me?
Is that me? Is that a me problem?
I can hear both
Hello?
of you.
This feels like a me problem.
I can hear Matt and Charlie.
I think it's
So-
a Charlie problem.
Yeah, it seems like Charlie can't hear either of us, so.
And reconnect. Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Hello?
Oh my god, can my AirPods not do this?
Oh my god.
While I'm recording. Hello?
Charlie!
My AirPods just kept disconnecting for some reason.
Oh no.
That's
Are
so
you back
rude.
now?
That's fine. Yeah, I'm back. I'm here. I'm
Okay,
queer.
so-
We're good.
Deus Ex Media.